Hello, hello, happy Tuesday. Give me a second just to reset. I'm hoping it comes up quickly. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. We're going to be doing some rainbow fun today. Come on, little fella. There we is. All right. Now I'll be able to see your comments. All right, I'm going to get right into it today. Sorry I am an hour late today because we had some plumbing issues at home and the plumber was available to come and fix it, and now it's fixed. So 2 thumbs up. Okay, so today we're going to go back to our Fairy Tale Florals from Altenew. We've used this before. I have something stuck underneath. And we are going to kind of silhouette or do some highlight inking in a rainbow fashion. And we're just going to have some fun. All right, let's get started here. I have already placed our stamp into my regular sized Misty. We're going to grab a piece of white cardstock. 1 second here. I thought I had one in my little project box, but apparently I was not prepared. Okay, so if you want to know placement, so you don't have to, sometimes I just ink up my stamp a little bit, just onto the paper, and then I kind of know where my stamp is, and I can hang things off if I need to, or kind of whatever works. All right, that's looking good. We're going to use our magnets here. I'm just going to double check. Oh, we can probably, I wonder if this is taller than usual here. No, it is 5.5. Okay. So we're just going to adjust this a little bit. And again, just double check placement. Again, I need to hike it up a bit. There we go. Now I know it falls off the side, because I can see the little teeny branch. Okay. So we're going to ink up our stamp with Copic Friend ink. Today we're using Memento Tuxedo Black. Hi, Nora. Welcome, welcome. So we're just inking this up. I just want a really nice, dark image. And my ink pad's a little on the dry side, so you're going to have to be a little bit more patient. But this is the beauty of the Misty tool, or a stamp positioning tool. Hello, Laurel. Okay, so again, I'm just going in and kind of spot doing them. Sometimes this happens. You just have to be nice to your stamps. Okay, looking good. Okay, I'm just going to wipe this down. There we go. Really, really easy, quick, and we're going to put this aside. All right. So this technique is a lot easier than you think. I mean, it's pretty cool. Let's see if we can zoom in for you guys. Get a little bit closer. Okay, so the next thing you need is some form of masking paper. You can actually use copy paper for this, especially if you have pixie spray, because you can make your shape sticky. Okay, so you don't necessarily need masking paper for this, but it sure as heck helps a lot. So I'm just going to cut a fairly generous piece. This is Eclipse masking paper. It comes in a huge roll. I've actually had this one for literal years. I love this stuff. It is excellent. I even put this through my printer for my digital images. Hello, Anita. So what I'm looking for with my masking paper is I just want a circle. So you can choose any circle, and I'm going to use one that's smaller than I used for my example, because I want to kind of show you that one's smaller. Perfect. And I'm just going to take this into my die cutting machine. I think I can get it under my camera today. Okay, it's going to shoot across my desk. All right. And I always cut up. I'm going to try and put my die in the middle. I want a little bit of coverage of paper around it, because I just find it makes it easier when you do this process to have a little boundary. So there we go. Plus a cat hair. Okay, little fella. You can stay there before it lose my dye. Okay. So this is the part that we need. Okay. You can use this for something else. Okay. My plates are dirty. I've got all those little paper scraps in them. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is you're going to pick your color scheme. Now, of course, you don't have to go rainbow. You can do whatever color scheme tickles your fancy. I just picked rainbow because it's happy, right? Okay, so we're going to use Catherine Pooler inks today. Big surprise. But again, yum, yum, yum. Catherine just released, or as of tomorrow, there are going to be 3 more gray inks in the line. So I'll take 2 seconds and I'll show you those. As far as I know, Rhea's going to bring them into the shop. So there's Slate, which is kind of like a dark blue tinted gray. There's Hoodie. Hoodie is kind of a medium warm gray. And then Pebble, it too is a little bit lighter warm gray. So 3 fabulous colors going into that line. Okay. So the next thing, as long as you know however many colors you have, let's put them in the right order here. You kind of know that you're going to do 1 circle or 1 void for each color. So in this case, we're going to use 6 colors. We need 6 spots. And the beauty of it is to kind of overlap them, because it just makes it look cooler. Okay. So on this one, I started with the pink, but maybe we'll start with something different just to change it up. So you're just going to put on your mask, and I'm going to slam this on a piece of copy paper just for easier cleanup here. Okay, I'm actually going to adhere this down just so it doesn't rock and roll. Add some skin cells and we're good. Okay. Okay, so I highly recommend brushes for this, but you can use whatever tool you have. So I have, this is just my baby brushes. But baby brushes come in handy. And it comes in a holder. Now I know these are also offered in the shop if you're interested too. I'll try and put a link at the end to some of the products that you guys see today. We're going to start off with Whipped Honey. So this color is from Catherine's Spa line. So it's more muted, grayer tones. And all I'm looking to do is to make that circle show up. That's it. Okay. And this time I'm going to make my circles a little lighter. This one was quite bright. I put on, you know, a good amount of color. But for this one, let's keep it a little softer. Okay. Whipped Honey is done. Apricot is next. So we're going to just move this along on our card front, minus the cat hair. So today I'm going to give away a card. So if you're interested in receiving the card that we make today, just continue to comment along, because I'm going to pick 1 lucky commenter from today's live, and I'll send you a card with today's image. So, hi Tara. Okay, this is Apricot, so it's a nice kind of soft, peachy color. So if you're into more muted colors, try the Spa line of inks from Catherine Pooler. They are not as bright as the Party line of her inks. Okay, we're going to move our, if I can get my nails under it. There we go. And of course you can move this left, right, up, down. Again, I'm doing a little bit of overlap. Okay, we're going to do pink champagne. Again, this is a spa ink. Coming in with my larger brush here. So we're just doing a soft, light covering. Like I said, we just want to be a little bit softer. So there's our pink. Let's do our lilac, which is a pretty light purple. Anita asks, what is the best way to store ink pads? Upside down? Question mark. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so I have 3 circles left. I'm just going to go there. So it really depends on the brand. Catherine Pooler's, you can store them upside down, but you don't need to. A lot of inks, you don't need to store them upside down. And some of them are recommended that you don't do that. A lot of times if you go to the manufacturer's website, they will tell you the ultimate way to store their product. So if you're questioning something that you have in your stash, should I store it upside down or not? Go to the manufacturer's site and see what they have, because quite often they will tell you based on how it was designed, how the package holds the product. Catherine Pooler's are sponge, so they're a little bit different than, say, Tim Holtz's Distress Inks that are linen. So your best bet is just to do your individual research and go to the company website. You could always send a little message to the company too. I know our industry is fabulous about communicating stuff like that, so just send them an email. Hi, my name's Allison, and I'd love to know what's the best way to store my ink pads. And they'll appreciate the question, because sometimes it then kind of tells them, oh, maybe we should kind of communicate this on our social media, because not everybody knows. So it doesn't hurt to ask. 100%. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of pretty, Laura, with the muted tones, right? No, it doesn't. Rainbow doesn't always have to be brightly saturated. Okay, matcha. A pretty, pretty green. So pretty. It's kind of like that light green that you first see in the spring. Okay, so this one's kind of inky. Okay, we're going to go in our circle. And again, I am overlapping colors just a bit. It just makes it kind of cool. Okay, we're keeping it nice and light. So brushes work fantastic for this. Same with the sponge applicators. They work fantastic. All right, let's move these off to the side. And this is how you're going to make it wowzer. You can 100% leave it just like that, okay? Add a sentiment, done. It's really as easy as that. But let's just add that little bit more pop. So we're going to bring in some Copic markers. I might go in and tone stuff down. The purple I like, the blue I like, the pink I like. But I'm thinking these are almost too bright if we want to kind of keep things a little softer and a little bit more muted. Now, the other thing to do for that too, as well, is just not to put on as many layers or use the same color and layer it that way. Hi, Linda. Okay, so we're going to start with pink because it's the one I grabbed. We're going to start with an R81. And what you're going to do is you're only going to color pink on the image and only within that pink circle. That's it. So even if it's a leaf, even if it's a flower, you're going to color it pink. Now, you also have to watch out for the voids in the image. You know how like there's a gap. Let's see, for instance, where's the best example? Like here, see this gap here? This is part of the bloom and this is part of the leaf. You want to leave that gap completely uncolored. Okay? So we're going to keep the shading pretty simple today. I think I'm going to try and use a single color of marker. Okay? So you're going to kind of color this the way you would color your image. You can keep it much simpler. And again, you're not going to go past that pink circle. Okay? This is the secret to this technique. So, and remember, there's an underlying petal here. Don't forget about those little fellas. And same with here. And of course, you can choose what's dark, what's light, and all that jazz. Or you can keep it really, really simple. And I'm keeping it fairly simple here. I'm trying to remember not to go past that pink line. And if it's an overlap, that's okay. That just makes it really cool because you'll have colors that will cross and mix. So again, staying in the line of the pink. I'm going to go in here. There's a little tiny bit of petal kind of showing there and still in that pink boundary. Now, since I want to keep it subtle, I'm going to use the same marker and I'm just going to darken where I would put like another shade, like a darker shade. You do not have to use more than one shade to darken. You can put layers and layers of the same exact color on, okay? You don't need to have a secondary marker. You just go in and you just darken the areas that would normally be darkened. Again, staying within that pink bubble. Hi, Beth. Okay, we've got a little tiny bit of it showing there. Okay, so that is now our pink bubble. Okay, like I said, I'm going to try and do only singular colors. Okay, so we're going to go into the purple. We're going to go V91. And again, there's going to be green stuff in here. Like the, what are they called? Sepals. Underneath the bud there, they're actually leaves, right? They're not petals. It doesn't matter. You're going to contain your purple where your purple is, okay? So this is kind of like a deep inset because it's cupped. We're going to add purple there. I'm going to go in that underleaf. Now see this petal? It's inside that purple parameter. So I'm just going to add purple here. Okay, and I'm also going to bring the purple because it comes in, and you might have to take your mask again and go, oh, where was that putting? And just kind of remind yourself if it's light like this. So, okay. Might just have to go in because sometimes those lines, like that line is really softened into there, so you might not necessarily see it really well. Just take that little eyeglass, basically, and go in and remind yourself where those boundaries are. Just sneaking in all like the really, really dark petals first, kind of underneath, because there are petals that are very much tucked under. And we'll come back to the little bud here. Let's just go and finish off our floral part. And for the most part, this is going to be fairly concentrated with color because it's the very inset of that image. So I'm going to use the purple on this area, but I'm going to keep some of my edges light. I'm not going to go all the way out to those ends of the sepals. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. And then we're just going to do kind of a little bit on the bud. And again, we're not going to use a darker color. You're just going to go in and put another layer of the same color in if you want it darker. Because again, that's very much pushed to the back. Same with that little void. I'm assuming the petal comes out, like way out here, right? So I'm going to color it as a very much pushed back petal. But you do you. You could just do even simpler coloring than this. But there we go. There's our purple. I'm going to put a little bit more down in here in that little gap. Okay. Next color, we're going to go, we've done pink, purple. Let's do our blue. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Okay. B21. Yeah, something different, eh, Karen? You can overlap a lot of your inks and your coloring medium. So for instance, if you love to color in colored pencils, this would be a great technique for that too. Because you could definitely take your inks and make those circles. I mean, try it with a different shape. Try it with a diamond. Try it with a square. You could do any kind of silhouetted shape. Okay, I'm trying to keep that blue line again. So I'm just kind of taking, oops, I went outside, but that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. And nobody's going to notice anyway. So for you guys. Okay, I'm staying within my blue guideline there. And you can make this really simple, right? I'm just whipping in some color. And again, don't forget that things overlap, right? So I'm going to go and take, because this petal here is attached to this one. So it's deeper, darker color. It's going to be down under here where I've saturated that pink. So I'm going to go the opposite way, right? Because that petal is sitting in a different direction. And then we're going to go into our deeper set petal, right? There's going to be a little bit more darkness in there, and especially underneath the little petal there is going to need to be pushed. There we go. I'm just trying to maintain some of those lines. Let's put a little bit more darkness in the center. Again, anywhere where you think there'd be a little bit more shadow. Again, I haven't changed my color. It's 100% the same color that we started with. Okay. So try this with your pencils. I think it would be fantastic. Okay. Oh, what stamp am I using, Karen? It is Altenew Fairy Tale Florals. Okay. I've used this one on demos before. Okay, we're going into the yellow section. I got my Y11. So this is a pretty, actually this is pretty bright. I might just kind of put a little tinkle in, and I'll go and see if I can find just a little bit lighter shade. Because I wanted to kind of keep things muted, right? Just like we talked about at the beginning. So I'm going to go and find a little bit more muted color. One second, I just got to pull my Copics a little bit closer so I can grab them. Let's see. We're going to go with a Y00. And if you ever find out that, you know, like your marker isn't quite the color, you can always use a marker that has closer to a 0. It has more blending solution, so it will push that brighter ink back into the paper a little bit, so you can get rid of that harsh color. Or, you know, you might test this, but you could use your 0 or your colorless blender to push color. But always try it on a scrap piece of paper first, because this one can be naughty. Okay, so I'm maintaining that circle again. And this is where you can overlap, right? Because that yellow overlaps the orange. So just make sure you do that. And of course, don't color where the void is, right? You only color the image. Okay, beautiful. What color do we have left? We have green. Let me see. We're going to start, whoop, wrong end. G20. And again, you're going to maintain just coloring your image. Do not do the voids. And in this part, in the green part, there's a fair amount of void. Okay. And again, even if it's a petal, it's still going to be green because it's basically a tone on tone technique, right? Wherever the green is, that's where the green stays. And of course, this overlaps. See, again, if you need that mask to come in and isolate, so you remember, do that. There we go. We get our overlap in here. And then we can color out. So this is it's just a different way of looking at your image. Now I think it would be really, really super cool is to stamp this in like a dark kind of cloudy blue, and then do circles that maybe don't necessarily cross over, but do blue circles with blue coloring. So like almost like I want to say like an older set of dishes. I don't know how else to, like a set of china dishes. I just think that would be really, really cool. Okay, so again, if you want to darken, we're just going to go over again with the same color. You're just going to increase the amount of marker that goes down in that spot because you don't necessarily need a darker marker. Okay, we're going to go in and deepen all of our little petal joints, and we're going to go in and darken up maybe that part of the leaf there. There. Okay, the last one we have to do is our orange. I don't like the oranges that I picked for this one because, again, we're trying to stay a little bit more muted. So I'm just going to test this one out. Give me 1 second to grab a scrap. Scrap. I might even go lighter than that. Let's go 1 step down. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. You can always test your markers, right? Y000. So we're going in. Now there's a lot of void in this section. Not a lot of image. So again, just take note of where things overlap. And just color it. Just color those spaces. Now this space is going to be fairly dark because it's like a cupped petal. So I'm going to color it right in. I'm going to put a little bit on the outside. We're going to come in. This petal here is sitting down below. Out to the petal. Okay, lots of void. Let's go in here. A little bit of color. This is also still petal. I'm going to put a little bit of color in there. And then we're going to go with what I'm pretty sure they're called sepals. They're the underleaves right under a bud. And we're just going to shade it like it's got dimples. There. Oh, we forgot this little fella. We don't want to forget him. All right. Magical, right? Like very, very simple. We used, what, 6 markers plus 1 oops. We fixed that. So there we go. The next thing I want to do is put a little bit more interest. So we're going to pull out some paint. And we're going to add some splatter. Okay. So I have my little pots. And apparently I must have put my paint away. Give me a second. I'm going to have to move my screen. I did. There it is. Okay. Pardon my... Okay, I'm going to bring in my splat box as well, because if I don't, my screen gets all speckly. Okay. My good old splat box. All right. Now, I don't think this is not going to stay back. Stay, little fella. Good boy. Okay. I'm just giving my black paint. Oh, hang on. It doesn't want to, the flap doesn't want to stay back. Okay. Only a dribble. That's all I need. I am going to use a toothbrush. And I wish you would stay back because the light is being blocked. And I'm going to add like 1 drop of water. Like a teeny tiny drop. If I can get it to dispense. Come on. Come on. There. Oh, golly gee. Okay. Are you guys ready? I don't think I can hold this back and do this at the same time. Okay, so mixing my water in. Again, I have one specific brush for dark inks, specifically black, and one toothbrush for white. And the reason why I like a toothbrush is because it gives you a finer mist of dots than a paintbrush does. And I'm just going over the flowers and just a little bit of the stuff on the right. And that's it. Like I said, I like finer splatter, so I use a toothbrush. And of course, my thumb is all goopy. Okay, hang on. We're gonna put this out of the way. Karen asks, is there a coupon code for April for orders? That's a good question. If Rhea was here, she could be able to answer that. I am not 100% sure. So that would be a question where you could send her a Facebook message and just see if there is one, because I don't know offhand. So, oh, there's lots of paint in those nails today. Okay. So that's today's technique, is basically you're just silhouetting or highlighting a specific area. Use all your fun ink colors. Use your medium of choice. You could even try this with paint, like a watercolor. That would look amazing. And then, of course, it's such a generic image that you could use this for anything. It could be a birthday card. It could be a sympathy card. It could be, hey, how's it going card. You know, you can put on a simple sentiment and it's done. And you've had fun. Awesome. I will see you guys again on Sunday, if you'll join me on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I appreciate you all for coming and commenting. Give me about 2 minutes and I will put the comment winner down below. And then I also comment on your comment. So thanks again for joining me and I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.